Hey everybody, I am of course Big Will, and today is a special day. We're down a hoot at. He's taking care of his daughter though, so that's okay. But what we have today is something that I never thought I'd be able to have on my little bitty channel. We have the CEO, the Grand Poobah, the Master Blaster of a grading company, and it's called EGS. They are, I consider, the third company because I don't even acknowledge the one that starts with a P as existing. We have CGC, CBCS, and EGS. Now, he started about 3 years ago. You should have seen him on Reggie Collect's channel. That's where I first found him, and we watched that interview, and that was pretty good. And he recently has done an interview with Reggie on his own YouTube channel, and I think it's called EGS Comics. We'll ask him when he hops on. But ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce Tony Trumbetta.
Hey, how's it going, Will?
I'm doing all right, man. So is the YouTube channel simply EGS Comics, or how is it?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Just EGS Comics. Yep.
All right. So can obviously you were planning to last for the long haul, but can you believe it's been 3 years already?
No. It's gone by so fast. It's crazy. Can't believe it.
Yeah. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the things that you did to help launch yourself was there was either Indiegogo or Kickstarter you did to help you get to MegaCon, and you got the word out for that by going to let's see, We Love Comics was involved, Reggie Collects was involved, and Billy from Economics as in Comics was involved. Is that right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, that was a few years ago. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like I said in my little intro piece there before, for everyone who's watching, his daughter got sick and he's had to take care of her today. Otherwise, he would be here. So he is sending me a few questions to ask Tony on IG. So I'm letting that build up. But the one thing that I wanted to ask you about was, I know technically I don't know if it would be or not. How many generations would you say you are in as far as saying, yes, I've got it, and then making a change to your slab, the EGS slab? Because you started with kind of like the same process as CBCS, as having a graded slab for people. Then you had the raw grade, and then you also made it to where there was an easy open slab for the people that don't like to, as they say, entomb their books.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't have that option anymore with the opening up. But we do have an art label. So the book is still sealed, in there, but it's just an art label. The book isn't graded or evaluated or anything like that. It's just basically for like sketch covers,
Okay. So what different, first off, we got Luis Ramirez is in here. How you doing, Luis?
Hey, Louis.
How many services do you offer currently? As far as you have the grading, the you can put it in a slab.
Yeah.
Do you still offer the raw books?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. And what other things do you have?
Yep. Just the art label would be the other service. Yep.
Right. So do you have a signature series, for lack of a better term?
Mm-hmm. Yep. We do verify signatures. So again, that is something to where, like, again, if you want your book graded and us to verify a signature, we can do that. Or if you just want to do the art label, we don't evaluate that or verify any signatures. We just put whatever you want us to put on there.
Okay.
So
whatever you want us to put on there, that's something that puts you as something special compared to everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
you have special and custom labels. Now, CGC said it's only a set of this many with only one kind of art that you can pick, and they charge you an extra $5 for it. But you have true customability, do you not?
Yeah, full. Yeah, yeah. Doesn't matter. It can be signature series. It can be the art label. It can be the regular certified. There's all kinds of options for you to choose from, and then we'll also do a custom label if you'd like us to do that as well. So plenty of options.
So I'm gonna put you full screen because I noticed your background there has for the red one with the woman in red lingerie.
Yeah.
Is that an example of a truly custom label or just someone picking different colors on the slab?
Yep. That's just a colored label.
Okay. And then is that in contrast to the Batman black and white label that we can see?
Right. Yes. Yep. That is a custom label.
Okay. Now, does it cost more for a custom label?
Yeah, $5 more.
That's reasonable.
So it would be $5 for a colored, $10 for a custom.
Okay.
So,
and is what can you not do with the custom?
Well, obviously, we have to be careful with licensing, the characters and stuff like that. So we have to kind of go around certain, things. We can just do parodies, or we can do, like some symbols and stuff like that. But we can't actually put the actual character on the label. We can get dinged pretty good for that.
So you might be able to give away with the Superman chevron, but you can't put Superman.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that to me sounds like an excellent deal. As far as the custom colors and whatnot, $5, and then a full blown custom, $10.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That is an excellent deal. How did you come up with your pricing? Did you just look at what everyone else is doing?
Yeah.
Or
pretty much. We don't want to go. We want to keep it reasonable for people, to afford. At the time, I want to say CGC was just coming out with their custom, and they were charging $5. So we didn't want to go too crazy. So we keep it pretty reasonable.
And if someone wanted actually custom means custom. You can put any combination as long as you're willing to pay for it.
Right.
You'll do whatever you can up to your limit.
Yep. And, you can, let us know kind of what you're thinking you want, or you can leave it up to us to do. It's your choice. So
what never changes on your label? Like it looks to me from the ones I can see behind you that the grade, if there is a grade, is always in the same spot, and your EGS logo, all that is always in the same spot. Yeah. How is your label done up? How do you like having your labels?
Yeah, they're all, basically the same. We just, add different things to it. There's really not there's one set, pattern, one set label, and then we just, add, subtract, do all that stuff to it.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen now. I'm on your website.
Okay.
Actually, and I am on the section of the colored labels.
Mm-hmm.
So this right here, I'm assuming, is the standard. You like to put the color pages and the grade on the left, and then the right has EGS, certified signature, or whatever series it is.
Yep.
And it looks to me like you do the same as most of them, and all the people who did it are on the left, and the things that are in the story are on the right.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And no matter how customized you get, All of that part stays the same?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so even if someone has some wild and crazy design, if you know what a regular EGS label looks at, you can find the information easily.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay. Sweet. And I see you have 10% off of any order of 10 books or more.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's nice.
Oh yeah, all the time.
So that is cool, and I can see all the different designs here. You have a huge option, actually, gradient colors. Those are nice.
Yep.
What made you come up with the custom color labels and everything as being what sets you apart?
Really just I was having a conversation with Billy from Economics and Comics, and we were just talking, and one day he just said, "Damn, wouldn't it look great with a pink label on this book?" And it just the light just went on, and I was like, "Yeah, I mean, it would." And then, like I said, it just spread from there. Well, why can't we do that, right? I mean, who's to say, hey, everything has to be one color? One color has to just mean one thing, right? I mean, why can't we do something different and give people a better choice? So, but that's where it started. Yeah.
Cool. And I know no matter what you do, someone is going to complain about it, and they can be wrong or they might be right. So what are the biggest complaints that you've had that you have changed things and made your product better? What's some things that you started with that you changed and you're like, hey, this is actually better?
I would say, things that have gotten better or worse. I mean, I don't think anything's gotten worse. Are you saying like what people are saying, or what I think?
Well, I'm saying what complaints have led to a change that made things better versus complaints that are just people need to shut up.
Okay. Yeah, we were getting some. Well, I mean, we always get. I mean, the complaints about the tabs on the top and the railing, but we can't do anything about that. But then people were saying, hey, there's too many of those stop signs on the book. If you notice, like some of the books behind me, they have 3, one on each side and one on the bottom. So now there's only one on the bottom. We got rid of the 2 on the side because people were saying it was too much. So we got rid of, we did that change.
Yeah, because when I bring you up full screen and people look at those slabs, unless I know to look for it, so I see it. But if I'm looking at the art or something, I don't even notice it. I mean, it's very, just having the ones very hidden.
Yeah. Yep. So, I mean, we did that. I mean, people weren't really complaining about it, but one thing we're doing different is we used to have a hologram sticker where the one circle is on the right, and we went ahead and put that on the back now and just do that and do the round circle there in the front. It was just a more streamlined way that we can do things. Plus, those stickers have to be put on by hand, and I'm not the most some of the stickers that I was putting on the front there were crooked as hell. So that's why they're kind of on the back now. So if they are just a little bit crooked, at least it's on the back of the label, not the front of the label. So
okay. So I know a lot of people, you said they complained about the tabs on the top and everything, but the only reason you have tabs on the top is that is a comic skin that you have modified, correct?
Right. Yep.
Okay. And I assume that in the very near future, that even won't exist, right?
Correct.
You have a new slab you're hoping to come out with?
Yep. We're in the process. So
is there anything you can tell us about its structure or design?
It's going to look, kind of streamlined like the rest. It's going to be more in that line. So it's going to be more traditional, maybe you want to say. I don't know. But we are taking some of the things from the comic skin and in putting it into our slab. For one is the UV protectant. So we're taking the UV protectant from the comic skin case and putting it into our case. We're also using a different kind of plastic because the comic skin, I feel, is the clearest out of all of them because they use a different kind of plastic. So we're going to use that kind of plastic in our cases as well. So we took a couple things from comic skin, but it's basically going to look like a traditional other grading companies slab. But
do you have any idea on the timeline? Because I noticed on your chat with Reggie, you're kind of in a limbo right now where you're waiting on people to say yes or no, we can do this, right?
Yep. We're shopping. That's basically what we're doing. And it's taken people a long time to, get stuff back to us. So, we're trying to get, who we're going to go with. And once we can know who we're going to go with, and we know the exact price, then we can move forward and, launch our crowdfunding and stuff like that to help us get it done. So, I'm thinking a couple months. We're probably a couple months away from doing the crowdfunding. So.
You don't have to apologize, who that. Taking care of families, something that just needs to be done.
Yeah, who that, man. No worries. You got to do your thing, man.
Yeah. Now, I see your question, CFAP, and we're going to be getting to it here in a minute. But since you mentioned crowdfunding is how you think you're going to be doing the new slab once you get someone who can make them, who that had asked, have you ever thought about doing a Kickstarter or Indiegogo to help fund your slab? Yes, you have. You said you're going to. How are you going to do the different levels that are done there? For example, or is it just simply going to be you get, if you donate X amount, you'll get a free slab?
Yep. Yeah, we'll figure out the tiers the closer to the
I figured
to the crowdfunding. But yeah, we're gonna have some different tiers and such. Yeah.
All right. So let's go to CFAB's question, and then I have one that you're going to dig a little deeper to answer that one.
All right.
This one's simple. What's the turnaround time? That's all he cares about. He wants to know the turnaround time. I believe you are, of the three, bar none, currently the fastest.
Yes, we are 21 business days. So that is roughly about a month, give or take a day or two. When you figure business days,
right.
That's what it comes out to be. Yep.
Why don't we just go over what your options are? Because that kind of puts us in the doorway. Now, I went onto your website, egscomics.com or egsgrading.com.
Comics grading, yep.
Yeah. And I went to services and pricing, and we have raw grading. That's pretty self-explanatory. You grade the book raw.
Yep.
$10 a book. I actually believe that's cheaper than the only other person that does raw grading. And it's 2 weeks.
Yep.
That's pretty good. Now, pre-screening. What does the pre-screening involve with you, and how do you do it? Because I will tell you how both the others do it. For the people who are watching and don't know, I don't know if you know or not, but CBCS, there's no minimum. You say you want to pre-screen, and if 70% or more attain the pre-screen grade, whatever's rejected has no fee. But if it's more than or less than 70% get graded, all your rejects are $5. CGC was a $25 minimum, 25 book minimum for pre-screen. And if the book was rejected, it was $5 a book. Now they've upped it by 60%. Now it's $8 a book. How do you do your pre-screening? Because I see the cost here is $3 for modern and $5 for silver and gold.
Right, and that's if they don't pass.
Okay.
That's if they pass, there's nothing. If they don't pass, then that's what we charge to pre-screen. But there's no minimum.
Okay.
Right? You could send in one book for a pre-screen. I mean,
and that'd be an odd submission, but hey, it's nice to know you can.
Right. Yep.
So if I were to send in New Mutants 98, and it was less than what I thought it was going to be, you would charge me $3 whole.
Yep.
And if I gave you a pre-code horror book or an FF from the mid 60s, it'd cost $5 if it didn't get graded.
Yep.
And if it got graded, it would simply be the regular grading price that I.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, expert certified choice.
Mm-hmm.
This, I assume, is your plain Jane lowest tier, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So that's $20 for a modern. That was the same price as CGC. Now you're even cheaper.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What happens when you raise prices? Your competitors can be cheaper. And you have an excellent price on your silver and gold. Is there any reason in particular why you only went up $5? Because the other companies are charging like $10, $20 more.
Nope. That's just what we figured. And you also have to figure in that we don't charge extra for the value, right? We're not stocking you that value charge. If your book's worth so much, it's going to be more. And we don't have a membership fee. So
not only do I don't have to pay.
Right.
But I also don't have to pay you a percentage, because I just noticed that 21 business days. The next option, 7 business days. You pay a little more, you get a little faster. 3 to 5 business days. Pay a little more, get it even faster. And then 1 to 3.
Yep.
Now, are you actually able to do same day, or is it running a little bit behind right now? Or how is the same day? Is it in name only at the moment? Because I know it says 1 to 3 days max.
Yeah. I'd probably say when we get the book, by the next day it's done and then shipping back out. So we put 3 there just for in case.
Right.
But
so for those of you that didn't get it when me and Tony both said it, you'd send the book to one of the other guys. It's going to be a walkthrough, might be a day, and might take even longer, and you're going to have to pay a minimum of about $150. Tony is letting you pay $90 per book, and you get it same day, which is 1 to 3 business days max, no matter the value. So I know you'd probably be a little nervous, but I could send in an AF-15 and it would be $90, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's the best deal I've heard all day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't believe in that money grab stuff,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just really, we don't do anything different, right? We why are we charging more because the book is worth more, right? We're doing the same thing. So
yeah. Now, is this signature series the certified?
Mm-hmm.
This is it could be a premiere, an ultimate, or a same day.
Yeah.
The signature series is an add-on to an existing tier, right? If someone has a signature on the book.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yep. It's an add-on. Mm-hmm.
So obviously not that many conventions right now, but I assume once you're able to get out there, $8 if you witness it, and you do verified at $10 plus $8 each additional. There's only one other person in the game that does that, and they charge $25 and $15.
Mm-hmm.
So either way you slice it, you are doing it much, much cheaper. Yep. And it does take a little bit longer, but you know what? That's okay, because I'm spending like almost half as much.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm spending less than half.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then we see here you offer pressing and cleaning. Now, how well are you able to do the pressing and the cleaning? Like, can you tell us how many employees are currently at EGS?
Yeah, I have myself, I have a presser, and I have another person too that's really just part-time that helps me, slab and do all sorts of other things. But I'm the only grader so far, so it's just me.
All right.
Yeah.
So you got one guy that does pressing, and if that's all he does, he can do multiple books every day.
Yep.
Pretty good. I do have one question though. You're the only one that I've seen do it this way. Why is pressing and cleaning broken out? Most of the time they're together for a single price.
Yep.
What was your thinking about breaking them out?
Well, because we noticed that a lot of people were saying, hey, we just want it pressed, not cleaned, or we just want it cleaned, not pressed. So that's kind of why we broke it. We didn't attach it all into one. So you have an option, right? So it's up to you. If you want them pressed and cleaned, it would be, for a modern, it would be $13 plus $7. If you just want
$20.
Right. If you just wanted it cleaned, it'd be $7. Because not everybody wants it pressed and cleaned, believe it or not. So,
yeah. Now that I have to admit, I first saw this, I was thinking, that seems a bit much and a little high. But then I got to thinking, most of the other guys have the pressing and cleaning at different prices at every single tier. And they keep going up and going up. You have flat rates.
Yep.
It's either modern or it's not. You can get it cleaned and pressed, or one or the other.
Yep.
See, after you think it through, that's actually not that bad.
Right.
I like it. Now, I'm saying I like it and all that kind of good stuff, but I will admit to you, I'm going to be honest, I am one of those guys that doesn't like the modified comic skin, and if you take the tab off and you can open it. But unlike most of the other people, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. You let me know as soon as you get those new slabs. I got a bunch of Lois Lanes that I collect. I'm collecting the Superman's Girlfriend Lois Lane raw, but I'd be willing to send them to you to try you guys out and show you some support. Awesome. and see what kind of slab you have and how you do your grading. Although if you follow the Overstreet guide, which you clearly state that you do on your website, I ought to be able to know what the book's going to grade out at if I have the same book.
Yep.
And was that born out of frustration of sending it to CGC or CBCS, the same book, and it being a slightly different grade? You're like, okay, what are their standards? I would like to know.
Yep. That's exactly where it stems from. Just fed up with just the lack of consistency, customer service, just the whole, point that, you just feel like a number, and I was just like, there's a better way, and I felt that there was room for another company to come in and be that change for everyone. And of course, that's not going to happen overnight, but little by little, we're,
20 years later, he's an overnight success.
Right. Right. Yep. But,
I think it's pretty obvious to me, and I would hope everyone else, that if CGC's fastest time now is 105 business days, that's 30 weeks. And if CBCS's best time is 17 weeks, I would say we got plenty of room for you to come in.
Yeah.
I think if you can get people to try your new slab once you get it going, and I think you will, you got this guy at least that's going to do it, and to see, hey, as long as you know what you're doing, and if you're following the Overstreet, you're going to be just fine. I think you got a real good chance of causing a ruckus in the market.
We hope so. We plan to. So,
because PGX, when the things they did when they first started, they lost all confidence and integrity, and some of the steps they've taken have put them back a little more after trying to come forward. So
Yeah.
After 20 years, they're not the one. They're not going to make it. They should just put it up behind the shed and shoot it, as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
I think you could be that third company to really shake it up.
Well, we plan to, and we hope to. We hope to, and we just remember, this whole grading thing isn't just about a case or a label.
Right.
Uh, it's about, do you trust the grade? How's the customer service? How's the whole experience from start to finish, including turnaround time, right? I mean, you have to encompass the whole service when you're evaluating a company, and we want to be the best when it comes to that. So,
well, I think I can speak for everyone when I say I want my book back the next day after I send it, but I know that's not possible.
right.
So as long as you can be consistent in your grading and keep on top of quality control, I really don't care how long your turnaround time is.
Well, I wish everybody was like that, but there are people that are just, hey, and I get it. I don't like my books gone either, for too long. I get it. So, that's why we have our parameters that, we stick by. We right now we are still on time with our turnaround times, give or take a couple days or two, because we're dealing with a plastic shortage. So I don't know if everybody's familiar with that going on right now, but there is a plastic shortage going on. So now, of course, since I don't make my own slabs, I'm buying them from someone else.
Yeah.
So now with the plastic shortage, I'm not my cases are taking longer to come in, and I'm only getting a fraction of what I ordered. So it's really, it's been rough the past month, but I'm still able to get things out, and hopefully it'll get, this plastic shortage will be gone, and
I think most of the shortages that are happening, like there's a lumber shortage as well. I think, and we also have inflation right now hitting us pretty hard. I think that's all temporary from the shutdown of the world, and probably this time, maybe 2022, 2023, somewhere in that year of timeline, we'll probably be back to normal. This is temporary, but it sucks.
Yeah.
But I would imagine once you are able to have your own slab, that alone will probably bring your cost way down, because I imagine it's expensive buying from someone else.
Man, it's just, I can't tell you the time and money that I spend to do a slab compared to the other companies, okay, because I have to modify them. So that's all time and money that goes into it to put out a product that's good, for the public, for everybody,
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a lot. When I start making my own, I'm going to be able to, probably make double in profit like the other companies do per slab. And then, I'll be able to do, 10 slabs in the time it takes me to do one right now. Right. So,
yeah, see, I mean, that's why I don't agree with that percentage thing either, because they probably paid a couple dollars for the slab, and then they're doing all this higher tier stuff. So thank you so much for putting a flat fee at your same day tier instead of a percentage.
Yes, we just believe in a flat fee, no garbage, no nonsense.
So if you don't want to answer this question, I understand. But I'm going to assume you wouldn't be in business for 3 years if you weren't making some kind of profit. So at the current tier price for everything, you're making a profit. So I would imagine when you get your own slab and you get even more of that as profit, you're going to keep your prices the same, right?
Yeah, maybe even come down. I don't know. They might even come down. I'll have to evaluate it when the final costs and stuff come in, but
and to tail off of that, CFAP's thinking of the same things I am. He has that simple question, but I'm going to ask it a different way. Right now, you said you have your one other guy, and then there's you, and then like the presser.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, I think a lot of people are just waiting on ready for that new slab. At least they say they are.
Yeah.
We'll see if they actually show up.
Yeah.
But assuming they are, you're probably going to get flooded compared to what you get in now.
Mm-hmm.
Are you prepared to grow? Are you ready? Do you know which pieces to move?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I have, we have, I have a whole system ready to go when we launched. I mean, listen, when we, we still have a lot of time, right? I mean, by the time, we launched the Kickstarter, get it done, then, you have to, pay for the tool to be made. And by the time the tool is made and you get back and before they even start production on tools, I mean, you're probably talking before I see a case 6 months, right? So, I mean, there's a lot of time to, evaluate what's going on. But listen, I've always said, yes, I mean, everybody's in business to make money, right?
Yeah.
But also you have to figure, I mean, you have to keep the customers happy. So, I mean, listen, if I, it's the saying, right? I'm okay with, driving a Lexus, opposed to a, Lamborghini, you know what I mean? That type of thing, I mean, we're not, if I have to hire people, I'm going to hire people, right? I mean, to keep, the quality and the customer service and the turnaround times. I mean, that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
There's no rhyme or reason why a company that just sold for, I don't know how many,
500 million.
Why their turnaround times are like that. They can fix that if they wanted to, very easy. It's called make a little less money, hire some more people, and keep the people happy. But, greed comes into it, boardrooms come into it.
Let me ask you this. A lot of these other places are they're currently hiring people, and they say, okay, one of them saying you got to have experience grading if you want to be with us. The others are saying, well, we got to have this extreme training and all that. But aside from the mechanical parts, like putting a slab together or opening boxes and whatnot and packing stuff, grading, do you think you can train people a lot easier because you're using the overstreet? I would think you would have an easiest time out of everyone else.
Yep. It's just like teaching out of a textbook. Really, that's really what you're doing. You're teaching a book and everything that goes along, with that book and in that book is what you're teaching. So, I can probably, train somebody, probably in a month, and they can probably start grading, and that's, taking somebody with, no knowledge of grading, I mean, so it's not, grading is an art form, right? But it's not rocket science either. Okay. It's knowing what to look for, how to look for them, and figuring out what the grade is going to be based upon what you find. Other than that, that's it. Mm-hmm. So, it's just learning the process and learning how to do all of those things. Once you know all of those things, then you're good to go.
And I think I can. You can back me up on this, Tony. But for those of you that don't know, if you simply learn how to grade by the Overstreet grading guide, you're going to be grading stricter than the other grading companies.
Just get one of those. Study it.
Yeah. Now, At this point, we're about 40 minutes in. I don't know how much time you have. I normally keep things about an hour or so.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone is in the chat, there seems to be about 6 of you, have a question, feel free to ask it, and I'll see if I can bring them up. Now, CFAP has a question here. He says, say if you get a slab from and we crack, if we send back to you, will there be a discount, Mr. Tony? I think what he's saying is if there is damages, how do you take care of damages if someone sends you a book, you grade it, it comes back and it's damaged somehow, either through shipping or something?
Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, you have to look at it from our point of view, right? We give you the option of purchasing insurance for your books. That's what the fair market value is, the form. Okay, that fair market value is going to put a price at the end of the form that you're going to pay, and that's going to be for return shipping insurance. So, listen, if a book gets, I mean, if a case gets cracked or something, yes, by all means, send it in and we'll, recase it for you. Now, because there's a difference, right? I mean, there's a difference in a cracked case or damage to a book, right? I mean, that's two different things. So what I tell everybody is, look, if we do something to your book on EGS property, then we will, if it's an issue that can't be fixed, we will replace the book if we did the damage. If we don't do the damage, if that book leaves EGS in perfect condition and it gets to you damaged, then is where we can't be responsible for damages caused, but not by us.
All right. I understand what you're saying.
So, I mean, take for instance, you send me a Hulk 181 and it's a 9.8 and it leaves the shop perfect and it gets to you and something happens and there's damage to the book. I mean, I don't know, we're
now here's we also have a question from Whodat, but before we do that, let me tailspin off of what just was asked to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know that you're going to have, once you get this new case in, there's probably going to be a lot of people that want to take an existing EGS case and put it in the new case.
Oh, yeah.
Will they be able to do a simple reholder, or because of the fact that the slab can be opened, will it need to be regraded, or will that all depend on if there's evidence of something?
You got it. Basically, what's going to happen is we're going to give you the option to recase. You send us your book back, that grade is not going to change. That grade stays the same. Okay, the only way we're going to take a second look at a book is if we see that there's damage to the case. If we see physical damage to the case, then we might have to take a look and, reevaluate. But if you're just sending us back a book and there's no sign of any kind of damage, your book is going to just get recased with the same grade. I mean, there's no need to take it out and regrade it just because you're sending it in to be recased, unless there's some physical damage that we see.
All right.
Yeah.
So how much would do you have any idea, or will that depend on how much the new cases cost for the reholder fee?
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be a lot.
All right.
I mean, we're going to, again, this is what we're doing, right? We're in a process of finding out, okay, how much is our per case cost going to be? How much is our...
Trust me, I realize half the questions I'm asking you are all going to depend on what the price is going to be that you won't know yet.
Right. I mean, but I don't really see it going past, $10, probably, $10 or something.
I'm going to bring up Whodat's question, let you read it yourself. But I believe the word version was meant to be vision. Other than that, so have you ever thought about trying to do a show like Shark Tank, or doing an investment where you sell maybe 10-15% of the company, do like venture capital just some partners that have the same vision, and that way you would have an infusion of cash. But you don't really know how much cash you need at the moment, though, right?
Right. Right. I mean, listen, it just depends on how much this is going to be. And from what I can tell, I think with just the resources that I have and that we can probably pull in through crowdfunding, I really don't think we would have to go that route. If, I mean, look, I mean, if we get a number that's just astronomical, then maybe that would be a viable option. But from what I have seen and heard and kind of, diving into this for the past year, I think it's pretty obtainable to where I don't have to go out and sell a portion of EGS to an investor or a partner. I just, if I don't have to, I'm not gonna, right? I mean, because listen, I don't think anybody, wants to give away their vision and their baby, just because, they need a couple extra dollars here and there, right?
Yeah.
So, it just depends on how much that is. I mean, so.
Now, you are based in Florida, yes?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So if you can do it in Florida, you're going to stay in Florida. But do you have any qualms over moving to, say, Texas, if that's where the best opportunity to get everything is?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to having different EGS locations. If it suits us, I don't want to say if it suits us. I mean, if it suits the customer better, right? I mean, if we feel that being in another location in tri-state area or, East or West Coast or, wherever central, if we feel that that's going to be, an advantage for us to give even better service, then yeah, we'll definitely look into it. I mean, I know you're, like you say, you don't really want to recognize, PGX, right? But
yeah, I know. Go ahead. They've opened up another place.
They've opened up another location here in Florida, right? So, obviously it's something that they thought would be beneficial to them, and they're able to do it. If we feel that it's going to be beneficial for us and we can do it and afford to do it and have the right situation, and then sure.
All right. So would you ever change your name? I'm going to ask you just a bunch of really weird questions because EGS is a fine name. I like it. Expert Grading Services. But you do have to admit, WADA, PGA, CBCS, CGC, PGX, EGS.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I don't know if we'd ever change. If we'd ever change it. I think it's, it is. I think it's a, I think it's a good name. So I doubt if we'll ever change that.
All right. So next question in the really weird questions and stuff.
Sure.
Is actually asked by CFAP, and I think I already know the answer.
No. Comics is enough. Trust me. You start getting into trading cards and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not going to say, you never say never, but I don't know. It's just going to depend on how big we get, because that's an endeavor, man. I mean, when you start branching off into other things, I mean, there's a lot that goes into that. So I don't know if it's, it would definitely have to be worth it for us to do. And I don't know. I think comics is really, I think there's enough for me and for everybody just to do comics, and that would be sufficient. But again, you never know. I'm never going to say never. So.
All right. So next question: what do you use to authenticate a signature? Is it all a
It's a
machine, or do you have a person?
it's a program.
It's a program.
It's a program. Yep, that we
All
use.
right. Do you think that you will continue that, or would you ever go the route of CGC witness only?
No, not. We'd always do that. We're not just going to go witness only. No.
All right. Let's see. I'm now run out of my normal questions. I'm trying to think. Is there anything I want to ask while I got you?
Sure.
And while I'm thinking about that, is there anything that you'd like to tell anybody who's watching? I mean, and if it's a repeat of with Reggie, that's perfectly fine. I think we share a lot of people, and I have a few different people than he does as well.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah. I mean, I would just say, keep an eye out for the YouTube channel. We're going to have more content coming out. I'm going to do more episodes of Talking Slabs with different YouTubers. Reggie was my first guest, but I do have other YouTubers that I'm going to bring on with different subjects. So I would say, keep an eye out for, what we're going to be putting out on the YouTube side of it. We are, heavily on social media as well. So, I try to post at least something once a week coming from us, on Instagram or something, a picture, something at least once a week. I tell you, it's hard, man. It's trying to find the time for all of this is crazy, but we're making it happen. And,
all right.
all I could say is, give us a try and, see what we're all about. All I would ask is you judge us as a complete service, not just certain aspects of it. So.
All right. Well, we got Biggie's, home of the New York Waters. How you doing, man? And we got two questions from the chat, and then I'll ask the final question.
Sure.
And then we'll get out of here. This is an easy answer.
Not yet, no, but we plan to down the road.
And then this one, I assume he means when your new slab launches and everything goes, will you be partnering with any YouTube channels to help you launch, kind of like you did with the
few
years ago?
Yes, we'll be going on some YouTube. When we're about to launch the crowdfunding. Yeah, you'll see me on some different YouTube channels for sure.
All right, so we're about 53 and a half minutes in. I am going to now ask, this will be the final question.
All right.
Although we have that Delta variant out there, for the most part, things are starting to get a little bit back to normal. There's a few cons that are coming back. Do you have a con in the near future that you are going to? And if not, are you planning to sometime in 2022?
I will say for sure 2022. The rest of this year, we're eyeing a couple. We're just not committed to them yet, but we're going to try to see about getting there and going. So I would say hopefully this year we can go to a couple. I can't say for sure yet, but again, like I say, stay tuned to the YouTube channel and to us on social media. And once we know if we're going to go somewhere, we will definitely put it out there so you guys know where we're going to be. So I would say we're going to try to get to a couple this year, but definitely in 2022 we're definitely gonna.
Would MegaCon be one? I know it's next month.
No, we can't. We can't do MegaCon this year. Maybe next year. We're hoping next year. That would be awesome.
Okay, so we got 5 more minutes. I just thought of another question I was wanting to ask you, but
sure.
I assume you don't really pay attention to answer that question, do you?
Have any of our souls been sold on eBay yet? I've heard yes.
But you don't know how well they did compared to the competition or anything, though. You just know that a slab of yours has sold.
Oh
That's
yeah,
about
I
it.
mean, I've heard from different people that a bunch. I mean, a bunch of our slabs have been selling. I mean, are they getting? I've heard, they're not bringing in CGC, but I mean, they're bringing in a little under CBCS, but not that. I mean, it's not
Okay.
drastic.
So if CGC is $10, CBCS is $8. You're hovering around 6 or 7.
Yep.
Okay. And then this is actually the question I was going to ask. I'm going to assume that because of the way you've been started and the fact that your slab right now can be gotten into if someone wanted, I assume you don't have a census at the moment. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but when you have the new slabs, if you don't have one already, will you be starting and keeping up with a census or population count, whichever you want to call it?
Yeah, we have a database already, so we do have um, every order, every comic is in a database that we've done so far. But to populate a census, that's a big chore. It takes time, it takes money, and it takes having so many books.
Yes, but you do have to have the data.
Yes.
To put into the census, so you are keeping track of the data, though, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do have a database with all the books that we've done in it.
Okay.
So, like I said, just again, keep in mind, the question of, I mean, like you were saying, can you get into our slabs? Well, yeah, but technically you can get into any slab, right? I mean, it's just our slabs are a little bit different, and our way of security is, instead of cracking it, you have to, break the 2 layers of security stickers, and you're definitely going to know somebody's been in the case. And don't forget, we do seal the book in an inner liner, totally sealed. So you're going to have to cut the book out as well from the inner liner to the companies. So it's not just, you open the case and you just take the book out. Well, yeah, you'll take the book out, but it's in an inner liner that's sealed as well. So now you're going to have to cut your book out of that to get it out.
And therein lies some of the modifications, I assume.
Correct. Time and money.
All right. So it's not as simple as people thought it was.
No. Listen. Yes. Can you take the slab and open it up? Well, yeah. When you break the seals, yes, you can open it up. But just like, I mean, another slab, you could just crack with a screwdriver and have the same result, right? Yeah. And just like the other companies, when you get into their slab, the book is sealed inside another inner well, right? That you have to cut out. I don't know if you're familiar with I don't know if you ever cracked one or whatever.
Oh, I've cracked one of pretty much every generation of all the companies.
So there you go. So ours is the same way. It's totally sealed in an inner liner, in an inner well, just like the rest of the company. So it's not just, you break our seals, you take the tabs off, you lift it up, and there's my book. It's not that simple.
Now, see, I was told, or it was when I was learning about you, that's how I took it. See, that makes it a lot. That makes a lot more sense of how you're going and doing the business and making modifications.
Yeah,
that's a lot. That puts your mind a lot more at ease.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen.
Yeah, I mean, since you're so close, I'm still going to wait for the new slabs, but that would make me feel comfortable sending my stuff to you.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
try
listen.
You out.
Yeah, it's just it's going to be a little different look as well, So, but I would say this, don't listen to what some people have to say. I mean, a lot of these people that are saying these things haven't even felt or had one in their hand. They just they'll just make an assumption. Oh, look at it. I don't know about those tabs on top. Well, when you actually see the book up close and hold it, those hinges are very, very, very tiny. They're not, in pictures, they look a lot bigger than what they actually are. So, a lot of people are like, oh, I can't get past the tabs on top, right? So, I mean, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it, but maybe, look at one, for yourself before you make that, because they're really not that noticeable, and then, hey, look, you got a fire custom label on your slab. Who's looking at the tabs?
Yeah.
I mean, they're tiny, number one, and number two, with that custom label, is your eyes focusing on any sort of tabs on the top? No. So,
well, hey man, new slab or not, April 2022, you got to come to the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo here in Alabama, man. I'd love to.
Man. I'd love to.
I'd love to meet you, and I would love to see that slab with or without the new one too.
Yeah, I mean, we're cross our fingers though. We'll have them. They'll be in production and they'll be out, and we'll be using them by then. But send me the send me the info on that. So
okay. And with that, everybody, thanks for watching. Thank you for those of you that asked questions in the chat. Thank you, Tony, for coming by and letting me interview you here a little bit. I know I kind of jumped. I'm not as soft as Reggie. I kind of jumped in and just started.
That's fine. We believe in transparency here, so it's our pleasure to answer, every question that's brought to us, and we're always thankful for any kind of exposure we can get on someone's channel on YouTube that gets us out there and lets people know, hey, there's another grading company that we can choose from. So well, I appreciate it.
With that, thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you